Hello everyone and welcome back to another shorter episode of Mortal Citizens. Today we're going to be looking at all the lists from the LVO that are Cities of Sigmar. And so this is going to be probably a little bit of a shorter episode, but we're going to run through the lists that are appearing and just have a chat about all of them. So let's get cracking. First list we've got here is from James O'Brien. He is running Tempest Eye, obviously from the mortal realm of Akshi. For leaders, he's got a Celestial Hurricanum with Celestial Battle Mage, which has got Patrician's Helm and Aura of Glory. That's the ranged aura buff attack spell. He's got a Rune Lord, who's the general, with the trait Hawkeye, another Rune Lord, who is the general's adjutant. For battle line, we've got 30 Iron Drakes, 20 Iron Drakes, who are the Honoured Retinue, 30 Longbeards with ancestral weapons and shields. We've also got a unit of 3 Gyrocopters and a unit of 3 Scourge Runner Chariots, and for endless spells he's got a Soulscream Bridge plus an extra command point, bringing him to 1940 points. He's got an extra command point, 131 wounds. What do we think of this list? Well, Tempest Eye is good. He's got a Hurricane. I'm going to buff that shooting. He's got some decent shooting output there. The Gyrocopters, Scourge Runners, and all those Iron Drakes are fantastic shooting options. He's got a nice big block of Longbeards as well, but once again, they do falter to mortal wounds like anything besides Phoenix Guard does, but they're a solid unit if you can use them right. He's got a Soulscream Bridge in there, which is great because that makes up for the lack of maneuverability. This is going to allow all his shooting units to stay close together, close to that Hurricanum, and pick off what they need to pick off. The Rune Lords in there are really cool. He's got Hawkeye for the command tray. Aura of Glory is going to give more attacks to stuff as well. Like, this is a pretty solid list. I really do think you're going to have a decent time, James. He might get caught up against some of the really Alpha Strike armies because the reason people go with handgunners in Cities of Sigmar is because they get the pseudo strikes first because they get to shoot when they're charged. And that's an issue you're going to find that you just come up against when you take shooting units that aren't handgunners. So he might struggle against some Alpha Striking armies, but he can always, sort of prepare for that by sacrificing those Longbeards or sacrificing one unit of Iron Drakes. But he does have some options here. He's got movement, he's got the shooting, not got a lot of magic, but got a Hurricane which can do some decent splash damage and some decent mortal wound output as well. This is a solid list. He's 1940, so he could have taken another endless spell, but he doesn't have a lot of wizards, so there's not really a point in doing that. Although maybe could have done with maybe a Geminids for some debuffing potential from the Hurricanum, maybe. Or even a Purple Sun to help remove those multiple wound units that might clog up his shooting. So Purple Sun's really good for getting rid of things like Ogres because it just removes models outright. But this is a solid list and I think he'll do decently well with it. So on to the next list. We have Ryan Dugan. He's running Hammerhall. For his leaders, he's got a Warden King who has Blood of the 12 as the general and has the artifact the Twinstone. We've also got a Rune Lord who is the general's adjutant and 2 more Rune Lords. For battle line, we've got 20 Ironbreakers, 10 Longbeards who are the Honoured Retinue, another 10 Longbeards, 20 Hammerers, 10 Iron Drakes, 20 Eternal Guard, 5 Dark Riders, 3 Gyro Bombers, 10 Shadow Warriors, coming in at 1980, no extra command points, 145 wounds. You've got a lot of stuff here, mate. There's some decent bodies on the table, and that's really cool. He's got Rune Lords who are going to have some really good unbinding potential. Yeah, you've got some shooting in here with the amount of Iron Drakes you're packing. You've got some decent combat potential in the Hammerers who are going to put output. The Eternal Guard and the Longbeards are decent staying units. Dark Riders are actually decently good. I think they're a really underrated unit in the book. They've got a really fast movement, some decent shooting and combat potential for what they do. Shadow Warriors, always a good shout. Just give you movement shenanigans, and 3 Gyro Bombers. Decent choice, but I do feel the Copters are just better, but Bombers are still decent. Lack of command points is going to be an issue. He's not got... I can't remember what Blood of the 12 does. Yeah, he might have an issue with Battle Shock potentially, and not having a lot of command points to start with, but you've got some units you can sacrifice there if need be. You can just stick those Longbeards out in front, or even the Eternal Guard, and sort of protect yourself by sacrificing them. He's got some speed in the Shadow Warriors, Gyro Bombers, and Dark Riders. The rest of it is pretty static, though. Noticing a thing with these lists, people seem to like Dwarves going to LVO so far, or Dwarden. but this is a decent list. Yeah, it might be lacking a little bit of punch. Eternal Guard do like a decent amount of damage, but and hammers are pretty decent as well, but it might just lack some full-on offensive potential. So onto the next list for Joshua Harvey. So he's playing a Living City. That Mortal Realm is wrong too, by the way, because actually is not where the Living City is. Actually, Living City is Gairan. So he's got a Celestial Hurricane with Hawkeye and Celestial Visions. A Battle Mage with Strike of Eagles from the Mortal Realm of Chamon. An Illuminarch of Haish with White Battle Mage with the Aura of Glory spell. And an Aether Chemist, who would be an ally. So spotting some issues with, I don't think he's actually going to be from Living City. I'm assuming he's supposed to be from Tempest Eye, because he's got 30 Freeguild Handgunners, 20 Freeguild Handgunners, 40 Arcanaut Company. I'm assuming we're using Old Book KO for LVO. I don't know. We're using New Book KO for Kencon. 5 Freeguild Outriders. Soul Screen Bridge, extra command point, 1990, command point spare, 132 wounds. I'm going to assume that list is supposed to be Tempest Eye, not Living City, because the KO are going to put him well over those requirements, but he does have the 8 units to be able to take that stuff. So, and yeah, this just looks like a Tempest Eye list. So I'm going to assume, yeah, of course, all the spells are Tempest Eye. So, yeah, Living City is obviously wrong. So what has he got here? He's got a lot, and I mean a lot of shooting. That's just going to try and pack out as much shooting. It's all eggs in one basket in this list. It's all on that shooting or nothing, and that's either going to win big or lose big. That's just how shooting lists work. On to the next list, though. Daniel Nixon, he is playing Living City, and this time I actually think he's playing Living City. So he's got a Nomad Prince, who is the general and has the Druid of the Emma Spring, Iron Oak Skin as well. Battle Mage, Spell Lore of Leaves, Cage of Thorns. He's the general's adjutant, and he's from Azir. We've got a Drake Sworn Templar, which is awesome, and a Branch Witch with Life Surge. For Battle Line, we've got 30 Eternal Guard, 5 Sisters of the Thorn, 20 Sisters of the Watch. Units and other units, he's got some 10 Sequitors and 3 Kurnoth Hunters. He's also got the Emerald Life Swarm spell. No extra command points, so he's 2,000 points on the nose, starting with no command points, and 126 wounds. Well, it's obvious he's going to try and put that Drake Sworn Templar into people as early as possible, jumping out the forest at people. And that's going to be the same thing going for the Kurnoth Hunters, probably the Sequitors as well. They're a good choice. Should be mentioned, the Sequitors are also the Honoured Retinue, so they're a really, really nice choice for an Honoured Retinue. They're going to provide some protection. 30 Eternal Guard is a solid unit, especially when backed up with Sister of the Thorn. Sister of the Watch pack out some decent shooting. It's a decent list, I think. I don't know if Kurnoth Hunters are potentially the best. Like, you could drop them and try and find another 100 points, and potentially take like Durthu instead and run Durthu and the Dragon together. Drake Sworn Templar has Spear of the Hunt as his thing. Yeah, I think it might just lack the ability to play with the Allegiance ability a bit. Like, Kurnoths are cool, but they don't shoot, so you're looking to try and, with Living City, you're looking to try and get a unit that shoots as well as does combat potential, even if it's just a little bit of shooting. So that's sort of what you're looking for. But yeah, I think this is a decent list. He'll do decently well, I think. I have no idea on any of these players, by the way. They're not players from my local meta that I know personally. This is a tournament over in America, and I am in Australia. Don't actually know. I can re-rolling ones. Jack is like the only person I know that's going to LVO. Sorry, just making sure that's... Yep. And Ryan Lavoie. I'm really sorry if I butchered your name there, buddy. If you watch this back, you're playing Phoenicium. The first Phoenicium list I've seen getting played over the weekend. So what have you got? We've got an Anointed of Shurin on Frostheart Phoenix, with the Phoenix Pinion, an anointed of Assurant or Frostite Phoenix, who's the general, and trait 1 with Fire and Ice, Golden Mist, Artifact, Amber Armor. Battle Mage, Spell Lore, has got the Golden Mist and Mortal Realm of Haish. And then Battle Line, 30 Phoenix Guard, 30 Phoenix Guard, 10 Free Guild Guard, units 10 Flagellants, 10 Flagellants, 10 Flagellants, and the Phoenix Flight Battalion. So, this is cool. This trick was talked about like a lot when the Cities of Sigmar group first went up. There's like the whole sacrificing Flagellants to give you Phoenix Guard benefits, and I think that's pretty much the strategy he's going to be going with. He's going to send in those Flagellants into the same combat that the Phoenix Guard are in, force people to attack them. They're going to get butchered. And yeah, there's actually a really cool tactic with what you can do with this. So effectively you charge your Flagellants in, all of them, and what you do is you then charge the Phoenix Guard, but you only tag one dude on like the side of the Flagellant. So you have like your Flagellant unit here, and you tag one Phoenix Guard over here, and the Phoenix Guard spread out behind the Flagellants. And what happens is your opponent has to attack the models they're in base contact with, or in range to attack with. So all your Flagellants die, but what that meant, only one Phoenix Guard gets attacked, or, and he gets attacked by like 3, maybe 4 guys over this side here. And then what you can do is you can pile in, because Phoenix Guard have a 2-inch reach, you actually get quite a decent, you pile in 3-inch, you're going to have 3 ranks deep attacking still, and you can really work that sort of combo quite well. It actually, if you pull it off and you get the charges right, it can actually like work entirely perfectly. Maybe I'll put up a little video on like how you sort of do that as well, because yeah, it's cool. So I might put that up in like a little tactic video next to this, but yeah, it does work. And there is a cool strategy you can do. So I think if he's going for that sort of tactic, Ryan LVO, you're going to do really well, mate, because Phoenix Guard, when they get all those buffs, they're pretty good. There's no doubt about it. They're like pretty good. You got 2 Frostheart Phoenixes. Like, this is a solid list, guys and girls, whoever listens to this. According to YouTube, no girls listen to my channel, so if you do, awesome. I keep giving my wife crap all the time that she doesn't listen to the channel or doesn't support me in any way. Nah, she's great. Anyway, on to the next list. We have Scott Adams, and he is running Tempest Eye. He's got a Warden King for his general, who has Hawkeye and the Searstone Amulet. We've got a Celestial Hurricanum with Battle Mage, another Rune Lord who's the Adjutant, another Rune Lord, and an Aether Chemist. And then for Battle Line, we've got 10 Hammers, who are the Honoured Retinue, 10 Iron Breakers, 10 Iron Breakers, 10 Iron Drakes, 10 Iron Drakes, 30 Archanaut Company, 3 Engine Riggers, 3 Aether Wings, 1990, 1 Command Point, bought, and 123 wounds. That just makes me happy. 123, 1, 2, 3 wounds. I like that. Makes me happy just seeing that. What do we think of this? Well, once again, this is just going all in on the shooting. Like, it's really taking advantage of those Archanaut units. It's really cool to see them at LVO, but don't forget, people, that they're not going to exist after this. I don't think he's got those Arcanauts, but I don't think he's got enough shooting in the list to really make use of it. Like 2 units of small Iron Drakes. Yeah, I think he's lacking a bit in the shooting department here. We've got a lot, but they're all like really small units that get picked off. They're not going to absorb buffs really well. All except obviously those Archanaut Company, who aren't even at the 40 strong. Yeah. He's got more screens though than like the other one we were seeing before that like went really all into the shooting. The Aether Wings are an interesting choice because like you can't use their ability without Vanguard Raptors. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with this one. So we've got Jarrett Zazueta. So he's got a Knight Incantor with the Veteran of the Blazing Crusade. Oh, he is Hallowheart. And he's got Sear Wounds and Ignite Weapons. Another Knight Incantor with Sear Wounds, Ignite Weapons. A Battle Mage with Elemental Cyclone, Roaming Wildfire, who's from Haish. Another Battle Mage with Elemental Cyclone, Roaming Wildfire from Azir. And a Celestial Hurricane with Celestial Battle Mage, Ignite Scales, Sear Wounds, and Crystal Aegis, and a Rune Lord. For Battleline, he's got 30 free guild crossbowmen, 10 free guild guard, 10 free guild guard, 30 iron drakes. He's got the Everblaze Comet, Soulscream Bridge, Umbral Spell Portal, 1990, 0 extra command points, 115 wounds. What do we think of your list here? Well, he's got the shooting, and he's got the portal and all that. I think this is just a pretty decent Hallowheart list. He's dropped, not taking any handgunners, which could be something that costs him a game, because nothing here overwatches like the handgunners do. Like, the Iron Drakes are probably better shooting output than the handgunners. However, they're not going to get the stand and shoot. So if they get charged, they're going to get minced. 2 Night Encanters is cool. It's going to potentially stop any spells coming at him. Like, he can stop the big spells when he needs to stop the big spells from coming at him. It's a decent list. That's my only worry, though, is if someone gets into you, you're not got handgunners to like soften them up or anything like that. Like, you're not making your opponent think about what he sends into you. So you could just try and tie you up with like a character each turn, and you're having to fight it and then shoot that character next turn because you're not going to kill it because he's going to tag you on the end and stuff like that. Next list, Wayne Kaufman. I believe this is the last list I've got to look at the moment. So he hasn't written which city he's from on this one. So he's got Anointed of Assurant on Frostheart Phoenix, Secretive Warlock, Set Strength, Drexel Cloak. Okay, he's Anvil Guard. Just reading that. Sorceress, Law of Dark Sorcery, Vitriolic Spray, a Battle Mage with Law of Dark Sorcery, Shadow Daggers, Mortal Realm of Haish. It should be mentioned, like, a lot of people are taking Haish, and why? Because it's the best spell that any of the wizards have. It's put on one of your units and it makes that unit neg 1 to hit. It's so much better than giving your opponent neg 1 to hit. It makes your unit harder to hit instead. So yeah, it's really cool. Obviously taking a Phoenix General, so he's got 20 Phoenix Guard, 20 Phoenix Guard as battle line, along with 2 units of 20 Dark Shards. He's then got 3 units of Shadow Warriors, a Celestar Ballista, coming in at 1980, 139 wounds, no command points. So once again, like, the no command points thing here is interesting. You need that command point, because if you're going to get hit, I think he's banking on the fact the Phoenix Guard won't get broken. And there are things that can remove 20 Phoenix Guard quite easily in the game. So that's potentially an issue, but you've got 40 Phoenix Guard. You've got a bunch of shooting from those Dark Shards. You've got some potential Shadow Warriors to like pop around. You might be lacking maybe a little bit in the movement department, because once they, like, the issue with Shadow Warriors is once they're down, and they don't really get anywhere else, and that whole Phoenix Guard Dark Shard thing is going to be very static. You do have an Anointed, but he's obviously going to need a stick near the Phoenix Guard to keep buffing them. Yeah, it's a decent list. This one is probably, it'd be interesting to see how this goes, because like the Phoenix Guard, like against some armies, they just won't be able to get through the Phoenix Guard, and the Phoenix Guard will just see the day through as the rest of your army picks off objectives and stuff, because your opponent's going to have to deal with them. In other games, you're going to come up against someone with like Effect Terragast that's going to mince through those Phoenix Guard real quick, and then you're going to be in trouble. So that's like the issue with this, is that it's going to be really slow, and if he gets pinned in with like even Iron Jaws pins him in, or Ogres pins him back, like, you could be in a lot of trouble. But anyway, I think that's all the lists. Oh no, James O'Brien. You seen this? Yeah, no, we've seen James's list. So that is all the lists for Cities of Sigmar from LVO. I hope you've enjoyed, like, this just a little chat about all the lists. There are some really good ones in here. I quite like the one with all the Phoenix Guard from Phoenicium. Like, that's going to be really cool. I'll put up a little tactic video on how that actually works, what I was trying to talk about. And so thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to support the channel more, don't forget you can jump on our Patreon, Sinful Gaming Patreon. Thank you all. See you all again real soon.